Hello and welcome to the treatment room. I'm Adam.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Sam.
Today we are going to be talking a little bit about the CrossFit Open. We're just under 2 weeks that the Open finished.
Yep.
And the quarterfinals are this weekend.
Yep, start Friday.
So Sam, what is the CrossFit Open?
So the CrossFit Open is basically the first first stage of the CrossFit Games. CrossFit Games is where we test or find the fittest person, fittest woman, fittest man on earth for a series of different tests, modalities over a weekend. The ultimate test of fitness. The top 0.1% in the world, they make it there. But the good thing about the Open is everyone in the world, doesn't matter who you are, you're a 60-year-old, whoever, a 15-year-old, anyone in the world can take part in it and be part of the CrossFit Games. So it's the biggest online fitness competition in the world, I believe. And yeah, I think we're how many years in? 2010 did it start?
Yeah, this will be year 12.
Year 12.
Year of the Open.
So yeah, the more the Open has gone on, if you like, every year, it started at probably a little bit exclusive, I would say, in terms of movements.
Yeah.
And this year, especially this year, last year obviously was COVID, but it was more accessible with everyone being at home. But this year is probably the best year we've seen of inclusivity in terms of scaled options from beginner to expert, if you want to call them that, adaptive. So yeah, people with disabilities, challenges, impairments can get involved as well. So yeah, it's great. Yeah, the first qualifying stage basically.
It is quite an interesting sort of business model because everyone, just to take a slightly weird spin on it, I suppose maybe is anyone who is a member. Well, you don't even have to be a member of a CrossFit gym.
No, anyone.
Literally anyone in the world can, pay their little bit and gets access to, or gets entered in to this
online
competition, as you say.
Yeah, online leaderboard basically.
Yeah.
You don't even have to go to a gym, right? You can submit a video of you doing it if you had the right equipment.
Well, that's
in your garage, in your garden.
Really an interesting. I refereed 2 workouts at a commercial gym.
Yeah.
With one of our friends, or all of our friends, clients for him, because she had entered, she was interested, but it was just the way it fell for her.
Yeah.
So it was quite accessible. I don't know how she got on with the 3rd workout, but
you can try.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, and they've done a good job of creating more divisions so that people can do it anywhere and regardless of your ability and experience, they'll get involved, right? Which is, from our point of view, we just want everyone to play.
Yeah, what they've done really well this year and last year, basically they've learned from COVID, with people basically being at home or in a gym, any type of gym, not just CrossFit, released a list of the different equipment necessary to use, so that if you've got that, that's great, you can take part in it, and it's a limited list now. It's not going to be beyond that. And they've thought about the everyday person rather than the elites, the athletes, that are going to make it to the games. It was much more about them at one stage, whereas they've changed the setup in the Open now, and the way you qualify for the games is varied over the different years. But this year, from my point of view, I think it's much better in terms of the everyday athlete that we see a lot of, coming in the gym that wants to take part in it. They've really thought about the affiliate and the gym and everyone, rather than that top end. The top end people don't need to, the Open doesn't matter for them now, they've just got to do it. They should breeze through the stage, because basically the Open is about getting top 10% for those elites. For anyone else, it's getting a percentile to work on, get a metric for them to improve. That's what we like as coaches. That's why we encourage everyone to do it. Get that metric. It's a test then for next year to see some improvement. and it's an individual test to see that improvement. It doesn't matter. You can compare against your friends, and we have some friendly competition within the gym if that's what you want to do. But from a coach's point of view, that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the test and then see some improvement. But yeah, the elites, they've just got to get top 10%, which is a breeze for them. Top 10% then move to the quarterfinals. From what I understand in Europe, then people from the that go into the quarterfinals, you've got to get top 60 people, I believe, male, female, to then qualify for what is the semi-finals, which are in-person live events, like a big CrossFit competition. And there's one Strength and Depth, which is in London for Europe, and I think there's a couple more. I think there's maybe 2 in Europe, Strength and Depth.
Just one this year, Lowlands.
And Lowlands, yeah, so it's just the 2. And then the top 3 or 5, depending on where you are in the world, then make it to the games. But yeah, coming back to the Open.
And the games is it 50 men, 50 women, or 40? I know it's changed from year to year.
Yeah, I'm not sure this year, to be honest. I think they might have culled it back to 40.
Right.
To make it that, you know.
And how many people enter the Open? You know, well over 100,000, right?
I think this. Well, I can tell you. I think this year.
So if you think you are effectively over a period of 6 months, going from over 100,000 people to no more than 100.
Yeah.
So it begs the question, because we get this a lot with members coming in, and they're like, I'm not the competitive type, or I'm not fit enough to go to the games.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have all those stages if it was just about that, because they could probably just skip the Open and have like a quarters, etc.
Yeah.
But in terms of like what Sam was saying, from an affiliate point of view, and from your 99% of people that are walking through your door every day, it's more than just the competition. It's the getting together on the Friday night and
100%.
Hanging out with a bunch of people that you might not have actually met, even though you go to the same gym, because you're in different classes, and the camaraderie and the support and everything that comes with it. And that's, I know I'm biased being the affiliate owner, but that's really why we are so hot on encouraging people to get involved.
That is one thing that I think CrossFit as a sport has nailed on the head, is that community aspect. By obviously there is to some extent, and I think unfairly, especially nowadays, there is an elitist feel from the outside looking in to some extent.
Yeah.
People think that you have to be uber fit to come in, and obviously that isn't true, because everything is scalable. And provided you're in the right environment, that the coaches will obviously adapt that to you. But I think, like you say, that the Friday night lights that we do here, things like that's awesome. I was doing my workout earlier in the day, finishing what I needed to do work wise, so that I could be here for all that.
Yeah.
Because that was awesome.
I probably shouldn't admit to this because it doesn't sound great for business, but we went from, I think, 26 people on the last class on a Friday night at the Open to the week after the Open, free. There's not really a better statistic in terms of what gets people through the door. So we basically need a 352-day Open on a Friday.
It was just hanging around. And watching other people
back and watch.
Yeah, that's it. And just, especially having done the workout earlier in that day and knowing how awful it felt to some extent, and be like, hey. But no, it was great.
I think what CrossFit, especially this year, since having new leadership, I think they've really spun the Open. As I said, it was about the elites. It's not about them. The games is. That's cool. We all love watching that. That's amazing. But all their marketing, everything building up to the Open, it was about like the everyday gym user. Their videos. It wasn't watching, Matt Fraser do some fantastic stuff. It was whoever in the gym, a range of different people. Big, large, small, whatever it might be, old, young, just a vast, just like your membership, you have every type of person you can think of. And they were on there, they were on those videos. That's what was being plugged, and that's awesome for us. That's what it is about. Everything about the Open was with the affiliate in mind, and your the membership, which is not made up of the elites. It's made up of people that have a normal job, whatever normal is. You know, they go to work, they have a family. It is the hour class is what they do, 3 to 5 days a week. They come in, they want to test themselves, and it was all plugged towards that sort of everyday athlete, if you like, which was great for us. It's perfect for us. On the flip side, I watched a CrossFit Mayhem video, and they were moaning about the Open, saying, "Oh, this is the worst Open programming that it's ever been." Blah blah blah. Well, that doesn't matter because this isn't for you now. You know, you're going to get one of the top 10% spots without even trying. You're going to get one of the top times in the world, which you don't need to, but you're going to get it. So forget about it. It doesn't matter for you guys. You know, you're just going to get through to the quarters. Then the quarters is where it looks more like CrossFit in terms of what they're used to. Then semis and then games, and that's your thing now. They're really plugging like the gyms, which is massive for us. Yeah.
We had our we've been going for almost 11 years as an affiliate, and we had our second biggest ever attendance for member sign up for the Open this year, which, given how hard it's been getting people excited about the Open after COVID, because a lot of people didn't train for a period of time, they're not perhaps at their fittest or strongest, so there's a natural
perceive to be their fittest.
There was a lot of hesitation, and I know, having spoke to a lot of other coaches and gym owners, they were having a hard time getting people involved. So I was amazed as to how well attended ours was, especially with new people as well. How many people we've had join in, January, February, that are not only doing the Open but coming out of it having a fantastic time. And there's not a better tool for retention, in my opinion. If you're not already, make an effort to get people involved.
And I think, like, again, what they've done with taking it from 5 weeks to 3 weeks, so there's kind of 3 weeks of stress and worry now, especially if you're into CrossFit. It's a bit of an anxious time because you want to do your best. Everyone being able to sort of wake up in the middle of the night and look at that workout, which used to be the case, bringing it forward, making it more of a global event rather than just the US, so that everyone could sit there on a Thursday and watch it wherever you are in the world. I think what they've done really well on that, we were struggling potentially with some sign-ups, because in the past there's been the Open workouts are disgusting. Oh my God, they're the worst thing ever. They're going to really hurt. And that was from Castro. That was pushed. It's going to be ready for the pain. That was, again, they flipped that. They released that first workout, and it wasn't intimidating. Or I don't think it was. I think a lot of our members were like, "Oh, okay,
I can do that."
Yeah, and there was a lot of that. Like, I'll see what the first workout is. In the past, has been like, we were just looking at a past workout: 33 thrusters, 33 chest to bar, 27. That on paper looks intimidating. Whereas they flipped it. The volume was fairly low in terms of wall walks, 3 wall walks. 3 wall walks, 12 dumbbell snatch, 15 box jump overs. That's fairly accessible, and going through the scales, there was something for everyone. It wasn't scary, it wasn't intimidating. You could probably give it a go, working through the scales, and that was huge. And they continued that trend with simplicity. The harder you push, the harder it hurts. You just like any kind of CrossFit Metcon. But that's what I think was a positive, really positive this year, and it's just been it was a good year for us, I think.
Long may they continue that theme.
So let's then let's take it back a little bit and let's go personally for each of us. How did the Open go? So Matt, how was your Open?
Don't pick me. So I'm currently nursing one of my many injuries, and so I was actually told by my physio not to play this year. So I damaged my meniscus in my knee probably 2 weeks before the Open started, which is never ideal. And I've done the Open for 10 years, so 10 out of 11 Opens. We opened this place a year after the Opens had started. So for me, it's just about trying to maintain an unbroken run of attendance as well as trying to see improvements. And pretty much every year for 10 years, I've gone up, even if it's half a percentage. So I was basically it was an absolute bummer. I had a go at the first workout, thinking, completely ignoring the physio's advice, and I basically blended what she said with what I wanted to do, like any prospective athlete. And I joke about it, but when I had a go at the movements and they didn't hurt, that was enough for me to at least have a go. I took that philosophy for the first 2 weeks, and actually it was okay, no pain. And then week 3, the thrusters caught up with me. I had a go. It lasted about 33 seconds, and then I called it a day. But to be honest, I had a fantastic time just being a part of it, and I would have, gracefully just turned up and judged and still enjoyed it, and especially seeing, other people do so well and seeing such an uptake in the gym was always more of a priority. So yeah, I've had better years, but to be honest, I'm grateful that I got to play, and I didn't do myself any harm in the process. And I still got to post a couple of scores to keep my sort of
respectable scores,
semi-unbroken run. Yeah,
sure.
I was 68th percentile with having only completed 2 out of 3 workouts, so I'll take that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, would have preferred 69, but
they just can't choose.
Exactly.
Very quickly, can we just run down what the workouts were? So 22.1 was the 3 handstand, the wall walks. Then the 12
alternating dumbbell snatch, 22.5, 15, and then 15 box jump overs with a step down at 24 inches for men, 20 for the ladies, 15 minute AMRAP.
15 minute yeah.
On repeat, as many rounds, reps as you can within that 15 minutes.
Yeah.
22.2 was
a deadlift burpees.
Deadlift burpees, ascending ladder, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then back down, 9 all the way down to 1 of deadlift first. Yeah, deadlift and then burpee at 100 kilos, 102 kilos for gents, 70 for the ladies. 10-minute time cap, I believe.
Cap, yeah.
And then 22.3 was started with pull-ups. 21 pull-ups, 21 thrusters at 43 and 30 kilos.
And it was double unders.
29 kilos, 42 doubles. 18 chest bar pull-ups, 18 thrusters at 52 and 34 kilos. 36 doubles, and then 15 bar muscle-ups, 15 thrusters at 61 and 38 kilos. And then...
18 doubles.
30 doubles before the thrusters. Before the thrusters, yeah. Doubles, gymnastics, doubles, thrusters.
Yeah.
With a 12-minute cap, I believe. Yeah. So, yeah.
Cool. So how then did your Open?
Yeah, so the Open for me hasn't been too much of a focus this year. It's hard to say because, of course, you want to do well because, I've got an ego. I love sport. I've got a little bit of competition in the gym in a guy called Brett that we have a little bit of to and fro-in. He's much better than me, but it's nice. It's nice to chase him and get one against the young gun. So for me, there wasn't a focus around it. I haven't trained for the Open. We only need to hit that top 10% to get through to the next stage, which I was pretty confident that I was going to do without training for it. So when first workout come out, I thought, great, that's a great workout for me. And I thought this year, the whole plan, this was the plan, to just do it once on the Friday. Don't affect the week coming on the Monday and have to do it again. And just have a little play, don't make any mistakes, and go from there. That went swimmingly on the first week. I took a little bit of a risk with the wall walk, so I thought I'd go quicker than maybe I should, and I was able to maintain it. Got quite a good score. Was happy with that. Beat Brett, which is the main thing. Won that workout. That was cool. Round second workout was I just didn't know, because I do my workout in the morning. No one else has done it that I can kind of compare my score to, so to know whether it was good, bad, good enough, whatever it might be. I'd done it, and I thought I might have done better than I did, but it was fine, it was safe, and I oohed and ahed whether I wanted to do it again, once I'd seen a few other scores come in that I sort of compare myself to or compare the scores to. But I thought big picture, I see some stats released on percentiles and knew that my score was good enough for like top 5%, so that was fine, didn't need to do it again. Other people did do it again and then just ruined their week, they didn't do better. So I was glad I looked at the bigger picture there, that was cool, was happy, and escaped any kind of back injury because that was fairly posterior chain dominant there, whilst moving at a fairly quick speed. So we were safe. And then week 3 came, and I thought that I was Matt Fraser, and basically it all was going all right, and I knew throughout the workout that I'd gone too quick, and my arm, it was a little bit of a mistake. Got through the workout pretty quick, got to hit a first bar muscle up and failed, and basically threw all my toys out the pram silently while Matt was changing my plates. Had a little bit of a paddy, quite a big one, but silently.
You say silently, when your tripod hit the wall,
I
you drop kicked it over the room. Yeah, other than that, it was quiet.
Took myself for a walk, calmed myself down, came back in,
highlight the open
and apologised for my behaviour. That one unfortunately didn't go to plan first time round, and I oohed and ahed what I was going to do, and I still didn't want to have to do it on the Monday. So this is when the community came into play. So for me, I do the workouts just in my training time, which is between 7 and 9 in the morning, where it's pretty quiet in the gym. Maybe not the best environment to really go hard because you don't have a crowd to sort of keep you going. You just got to go for it, which is cool. And I thought, right, I'll come back in the evening if my legs are okay. They were feeling it a little bit after the thrusters. I don't know why, but they were. And I thought I'll warm up and see what happens. And it was busy. I just had to finish the workout. Had to do it. So, and it was awesome. It was amazing. There was 26 people or more doing it. There was people like just hanging out, having a drink, just chilling, enjoying the vibe. It was amazing. And I got through the workout, so I'd done it again on the Friday night and didn't have to affect Monday's training, although I did feel very sore for a couple of days. My Open finished top, 96th percentile, so top 4% in the world, in Europe, in the UK, same percentile I believe for all. 1% better than last year, so that's perfect with no real focus around it, and then moved on to quarters, which will be this Friday. So it all went okay.
Nice, fair.
Yeah. And you, sir?
And you?
Right, for me it was my first Open.
Virginity is gone.
And the only goal I really had was I wanted to be able to do all of the workouts RX or at that top level. Which mission complete. Happy with that.
Yeah.
Again, as you said, when that first workout came out, which is kind of funny, in the CrossFit world, I compared it to people. A few people asked me, what is it you're doing? Yada yada. And when I tell them I'm waiting for the workout to be released, people are like, why?
Yeah,
I'm like, it's a little bit like cup draw day, but in the CrossFit, because we want to know what we're up against individually. So that's how I tend to compare it. People tend to understand.
People can get that
sort of thing. And so when that first workout came out, I thought, nice. I can at least attempt that.
Yeah.
I struggled with it a lot more than I thought I was going to. But ticked it off, I did okay. I did reattempt it on the Monday. Wish I hadn't. But, I know plenty of other... Yeah, that's it. I know plenty of other people. There were things that I wanted to change. I ended up making exactly the same mistake, the exact same rep, the exact same round. All the wheels fell off, and then mentally, I think because it was the exact same rep that I made the same mistake on. I was like, Second workout came out, deadlifts, burpees. I can do both of those. Thank you very much. Again, I went fairly hard, and I think I hit my best. Well, that was probably my best workout.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, maybe because it's simple and I like simple things.
Yeah.
But
less is more, I think.
Especially when you're newer to CrossFit, when you haven't acquired
sure.
all the skills, the stuff that you can't do or you can just about do, I don't think is ever as much fun in those conditions, right?
No, yeah, that's it.
So
And
just that workout 2 just allowed you to just do your thing,
grind on.
move.
Yeah, grinder.
And then the third workout, that was, I was like, oh no, I'm not going to be able to do this RX. I haven't got double unders. This is, they come up fairly early. It's like, even if I suppose I just have to get a pull up, and that would have scored. But it's not how I wanted to.
You still would have beaten me.
But yeah, but don't know what it was. I got my first lot of pull-ups in. Something just clicked.
Yeah.
And for me, that was my personal success of the Open, was my dubs sort of came together after God knows how long of trying. Don't get me wrong, they're not amazing, but I'm consecutively hitting sort of 20 plus.
Yeah.
So,
and because I've spent time, I don't know if you've experienced this, where you see people do the Open, they're really up for it, you've got a rough idea if you coach them regularly what they're capable of, and there's that kind of naivety of, well, I've done that in the class, or well, I've done that in a PT session, like, how come I can't do it 10 minutes into the Open when, I've done a million other things before, and you're trying to do that whole, look, it's okay, you got this, but you've never done it after 100 burpees or this or that, and it's, a few people sort of forget that, whereas yours is a nice story where you've put in a lot of work practicing your double unders, and actually it comes to crunch time and the magic happened. The stars aligned.
Yeah, I did give that second workout a go because I've been working a lot on my bar muscle ups, and I was hoping maybe the magic of Open would strike twice. Unfortunately not.
But you got there though.
Yeah. And that again. So a personal goal for that workout was, I just want to get to the end of the second round of doubles, because that's how I was so, had no confidence around my double unders.
Yeah.
That, I was like, it's 12 minutes, it's a fairly long time. Hopefully I can just knock out enough sets of 5 that will get me there. Got much
they
better
clicked,
past
they
that.
clicked.
Clicked. So unfortunately didn't get that elusive bar muscle up yet, but one day.
Yeah, mate,
you've got something to look forward to next
year. That's it. But so no, that was good. And again, as you said, the community aspect around the whole thing, especially here, was really good. Really made the whole thing sort of worth doing. So as a first timer, to anybody watching, potentially thinking next year, I'm an R in, it's so worth getting involved with.
And you've got a percentile to improve on next year as well, just like we encourage all our members.
Yeah. You've got that metric to take away that is so important with no matter what it is that you're tracking throughout any sort of bar fitness.
Yeah. There's no bigger motivator than improvement.
Yeah.
Other than maybe seeing your coach in a form.
Yeah, maybe. And it's like to review it as from a personal point of view. Personally, at first I was a bit like, oh, that's it type thing. There's not. They were very simple compared to previous years. There's no max lift. There's none of this. Flipping that on its head when you're doing the workout from an athlete's point of view, and maybe you want to get the sexy stuff in there, like the last workout was, bar muscle up, stuff like that. The skillful movements, high skill movements, whatever it is. Potentially, I went on that last one I was waiting for, and 22.4 will be a max whatever. That's great for when you're doing it by yourself, not in a class. You've got plenty of time to warm up, blah blah blah. Flipping it from the coach's head, I think it was so accessible for us. The longest workout was 15 minutes. When you're taking that into an hour's class environment where you've got people that are nervous because it's it means something to them, which is great. They're trying to do their best in a competition effectively. You got basically half an hour split up into 2 heats. You've got to warm those people up. You've got to try and allow for the nervous toilet breaks and whatever going on. Okay, they're not thinking about what's next. So from a coach's point of view, I think CrossFit done really, really well in making that not only the movements, the workouts accessible, but thinking of us in terms of, right, there's going to be multiple heats within the classes, and they've really thought about that. The max lift, that shouldn't happen. Potentially you've got whoever under fatigue, when they've maxed out, they shouldn't be hitting a heavy squat clean. We've done really well, touch wood. I think everyone came out the Open unscathed. Whereas potentially if you're slapping a max lift under fatigue on the end, that's when people aren't as warm as they should be, maybe, or whatever, because it's not the ideal conditions when you're under a bit of time pressure. I think they got it bang on. It was funny though, because those first two were fairly accessible. Even the scaled options, they were great. Everyone was bought in. And then we were expecting it as coaches, people that were experienced in doing the Open before. There's always a separator, and that was going to be gymnastics. There wasn't any kind of rig work, anything on the rig, in pulling, toe to bar, whatever it might have been. There was the handstand, the wall walks, which was the only gymnastics we had seen. So we knew it was coming. There was going to be some sort of pull up, toe to bar variation. For people that haven't done it before, it was quite interesting because the first two were so accessible. It was, what am I going to do this week? Because I can't do that. And there was some tough conversations in basically saying that this is part of CrossFit, the gymnastics, and you get to that stage where you can't do something that's just the way it is, and this is where you get your score for this year. You get that metric, and hopefully it gives them the desire and the motivation to train that missing skill, strength, whatever it might have been, to then hit it. But at the time, it was kind of it was a bit, because the first 2 weeks went so well. But in the end, we got there, and we got some huge positives out of that last workout in first pull-ups, first chest to bar, first bar muscle-ups, and it was huge. And that's what for us the Open's all about: hitting in the deadlift workout, PB in the lift multiple times. It was awesome, really good.
So, as sort of the podcast is obviously fitness and health orientated, but also people orientated, for you guys, especially out of CrossFit Fareham, are there any do you have any standout members that were in the Open that you sort of want to give a shout out to that might watch this?
Multiple.
Just playing it real safe.
Let me just grab Team Up.
No. I'd like to thank everyone for coming.
I'd like to say, anyone who's never done it before, because it is scary, and we do badger people, and not everyone goes for it, but a lot of people did. They kept us hanging this year. A lot of members are like, it's just not my thing.
Or I'm not strong enough. I'm not strong enough.
But then you get a domino effect where it takes one person to take the leap, and then they're like, if Anne's doing it, I'll do it. I'll give it a go.
There was a couple of gents that I'm not strong enough to do that. Well, they've done really, really well. Really well. And you're like, well, are you happy you signed up now? Like, I'm really glad you nagged me into it. And that will hopefully, like you say, this year it did lead into a domino effect and get more and more people, and that will then they had a positive experience this year. That will then, it was great last year, with them personally having a great workout, and then the Friday Night Lights, Matt provided pizza and beers, and everyone had a great time. People remember that stuff, and it keeps them coming back, and that's what it is about for us. But so
there's one person. It's horrible being asked that. I can't believe you've done that. But I don't want to sound like Boris Johnson where I'm going to skirt around it, so I'm just going to put myself out there. On the last week, Carl Wayman, if you know who Carl is, blew my socks off with his bar muscle ups.
World's biggest biceps. And he struggled through the double unders, and he struggled through the thrusters, and self-admittedly said that they are not strengths of his at all. But anyone who knows Carl knows that him and Misha have been, spent the best part of a year working on his gymnastics, especially the muscle ups, rings, bars,
And seeing that come into fruition for me, you know, there was this guy that no one was really looking at because they're watching the Sams and the Rowans, you know, some of the fitter guys in the gym, and there was this unknown that most people didn't even know his name, knocking out bar muscle ups like there's no tomorrow. It wasn't even near the bar; he was just straight up there.
Yeah.
And he was just where everyone else would come down and have a little rest at the bottom. He got there because the rest of the workout was so hard for him. He got there with like a minute left and managed to get probably a minute and a half. He managed to get like 10 bar muscle ups in a minute and a half because he just got to the top and we were shouting at him so hard that he just didn't come down. He just rested at the top and just kept knocking more and more out. And for me, that was a highlight to see, knowing how hard someone's works. You know, this stuff doesn't just come to you by accident. You have to put in the man hours, which I know he'd done, and just seeing his face at the top of that bar was brilliant. And having a load of people saying, Matt, who's that guy doing the bar muscle ups? So that he was my MVP, I think, for the Open.
Yeah, fair.
I've got a few mentions. First one goes out to Brett Lilly for, you know, to beat me is just an unbelievable, unbelievable feat.
And not rub it in your face either.
Such a gent, such
so
a handsome devil with it. But no, all jokes aside, no, well done to Brett, done really well. And then there was a few nice little surprises in. A couple of quiet people that just snuck in there. So Rach Green, Geordie Rach, awesome capacity, really impressive. Especially throughout the first workout, it was quite funny watching Phil Kelly judge her and just look up and like on the box jump overs, she just wasn't slowing down, and you're expecting someone to hit a wall. They're moving so quick and it just didn't change. So yeah, massive respect for her for that. Charlotte Charlesworth on the second workout, PB in her deadlift about however many times it was.
That was going to be mine.
So yeah, big shout out to her. Liz Short for getting multiple pull-ups after only getting one the week before. So yeah, really well done to her. Sarah Clark. Bar muscle up. First bar muscle up on Friday, and then I believe she done it again on the Monday and got 3. So yeah, really well done to her. And then Emma Sutton for just making the bar muscle ups just look insanely easy at the end of a workout for someone that's only just kind of learnt the skill. They were awesome. And then everyone really, you know, it's as you say, to take it on and sort of, you know, get involved. It takes that leap.
I should have worked out the percentage of
one more. Corey Buck getting the first wall walk. That was awesome. Yeah, you could keep going on. You know, it's a memory test because there's so many highs, and we probably missed a load. And it's just seeing people just going hard, putting their fitness to the test, and basically leaving it all out there because you can't help but go one more, you know. And just people left it out there, which isn't always good to do, but in a competition scenario, that's what we're training for. You're going to redline, you're going to send it 3 weeks of the year. It's good to do that. See people walk away with smiles on their faces, beer in hand, slice of pizza, and you know, the hard work has paid off.
I reckon we had. If I had to put it out there, at least 20% of people that did the Open this year, it was their first time. So that's fairly good going. You know, maybe a quarter of every single person that did the Open the first time, which, given how scary it can be just walking through the door to come and do your free trial session, and start CrossFit, to then have that many people who are new to it, you know, take that brave step and get involved is just made it for me.
Cool. Well, thank you very much again for listening. That was our CrossFit Open review. I'm Adam. You can follow me at Adam Blackwell PT on Instagram.
Matt at CrossFit Fareham.
And I'm Sam, and it's Harlow Health and Fitness on Instagram.
Cool. Hope you enjoyed that, and we shall catch you again next time. Take it easy.